The following is a presentation of the Harding Sports Network.
We are Harding Sports Network. We are Bisons.
Hi everybody, welcome to this week's edition of Harding Football with Paul Simmons. The Bisons won on Hall of Fame weekend this past Saturday, 38-23, as they beat Oklahoma Baptist. And Paul Simmons, Adrian Hickman, Ronnie Huckabee, Gerald Payne, and Robert Towns, all from the football program, inducted into the Hall of Fame this weekend.
Yeah, I tell you what, and that's four great ones now. You talk about guys that were warriors here, that were leaders here. Man, just such an awesome deal to be able to honor those guys, and I'm just really proud for all of them. And I've got a connection to all of them, and it means a lot to me.
Yeah, and 13 members in all into the Harding Athletics Hall of Fame over the weekend with the dinner on Friday night. And then so many of them were also at the football game, and your football team able to win in front of those great honorees. They joined 101 others now that are in the Harding Athletics Hall of Fame. So obviously that's big to win on this weekend.
Yeah, just one more reason. It's not good to lose. We don't want to do anything to take away from the weekend those guys have. But proud of the kids, proud of the ball game. And you know, if you look across college football right now, you need to be happy to win. It's hard to win. I think there was 5 teams in the top 25 that got beat this weekend in Division II, and I know 4 of them got beat by teams that weren't even ranked. So we definitely appreciate winning. Now we got to get better. And wish we would have played cleaner in some areas, but we're certainly proud to have a win.
You talked on the post-game interview about playing an afternoon game, the first afternoon game of the year. You practice at the evening time. We play 6, 7 o'clock games, and to play a 2 o'clock game, it is a change, isn't it?
You know what? I remember in 1991 being a player, our first game at 2 o'clock, and it never crossed my mind that it'd be any different. But I just remember how lethargic I felt, how hard it was to flip the switch and get the juice going. And I don't know what it is about the psychology of that first day game, but and it kind of felt that way. It was just hard to get going. We didn't have the explosive plays, but again, you know, we're proud to be able to fix a lot of our problems while we win. So.
We talked about the term be-back day, and I heard that a lot throughout the afternoon, and we saw the be-backs. Will Fitzhugh, Blake Delacruz, Chauncey Martin all had big days on Saturday.
Yeah, and you know, that's 100% what this offense is about. You know, we don't walk in game planning going, hey, we're getting the ball today. You know, we're going to, you know, get out there and it's a be-back day because of what they give us, or it's a quarterback run game day because of what they give us. And you know, we've got to have all 3 phases of the run game going, and then you know, Coach Wheaton, those guys just do a great job recognizing what's there. But you know, they scheme the slots really well, but there's always an answer.
299 rushing yards for the Bisons on Saturday afternoon in the victory. We'll come back and we'll look at the first half highlights in a moment.
Readers Become Leaders is an NCAA Teamworks program which was created to support and help elementary school children get excited about reading.
I am a reader.
Readers Become Leaders partners selected school districts from across the country with NCAA student athletes, coaches, and local organizing committees to encourage our children to read through fun competitions, field trips, and prizes.
The power of reading is so important. In order for these kids to have a strong chance, the best chance they can of being successful, they need to be really good readers.
A key element to ensure that a child is prepared to maximize their educational opportunities is to take the time to read to them and let them read to you at least 30 minutes every day. The Readers Become Leaders program is how NCAA Teamworks and our partners continue to make a difference together.
Back on this week's edition of Harding Football with Paul Simmons after the Bisons 38-23 victory on Saturday afternoon. As we look at the first half highlights, Bisons get the football first to start the game, and special teams right off the bat, we see what a big part that they're going to play in this game, and Dalton Allen with a big return to start today.
Yeah, the kick game, they needed to have a bounce back week after last week, and they really did. We had some great returns, punted the ball really well. Grant Ennis was 6 for 6 kicking the ball, which was very encouraging. But yeah, the MVP of the day for us was the O-line. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were very, very dominant, and we needed them to be dominant. Maybe our deepest spot on our team is B-back. Will Fitzhugh, Blake Dela Cruz, Josh Jones is doing a great job. And then, we were able to get Chauncey Martin going, which, Chauncey is a dangerous guy with the ball in his hands, and we've wanted to get him more touches. And so here you see him right here. He's actually not quite getting the first down, but, the first guy never tackles Chauncey, which is a great skill for a running back.
Grant Ennis hits the first field goal right here, 23-yarder, to get the scoring started for the Bisons.
Yep, he needed that, we needed that, so really good. Great job in coverage right here. You see Grant Fitzhugh, Kendall was really good right there. Landon Chafee had a really good part of that, so real pleased.
Caden Pierce had a big day defensively for your football team there with Patrick Healy on the tackle.
Probably the thing that I came away after I watched the film, there was just so many times on both sides of the ball where we had 10 guys do their job really well, but one guy, didn't do his job, and so, then it feels like we're all struggling, we're all lethargic. But that's why this is the greatest team game that there is. It takes everybody doing their job, and if you don't, you're going to get exposed.
Forced into a third down and 12 right here, and have to punt the football. And big day, I thought, for Ryan Fox, the first of 2 punts that would be down inside the 5 for him today.
Yeah, huge. I mean, huge. Again, we just could not do that well, last year. And this is the third time to pin somebody inside the 5-yard line, which is a really big deal.
Dre Hall got his hand on that pass at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Another part of that is, we've got a true freshman deep snapper, and he's getting better every week, Xavier Hilton. So we're really proud of his progress.
Short punt, so good field position to begin this drive. Still 3-0 Bisons.
Yeah, and we definitely won the battle of field position all night, which is a big deal. These guys have all kind of been sitting here waiting for their chance. We've watched Cole Chancey play for so long, but it's really difficult to get better at your craft without game reps. And you see these guys really starting to get better. Explosive play by Cole, right there. Really proud of him. He just gets better and better and better, and is playing at a really high level for a freshman.
A 23-yard touchdown run, so after the extra point by Ennis, 10-0 Bisons. And once again, really not allowing much on the return there.
Number one's dangerous. He might be the most explosive guy in the league. There's Cade Pugh. Cade had 2 tackles for loss. He had 2 broken up passes. He was the player of the game for us on defense, and he's been a monster all year for us. Just a tremendous leader, tremendous captain. Really proud of Cade and what he's done for the last 5 years for us, 6 years, I guess.
Move into the second quarter, 10-0 Bisons. You talked about Keelan Harris and how dangerous he is, and we see him right here.
Yeah, he's explosive, and probably the biggest negative of the day on defense is we couldn't get a stop when we had to. They converted some 4th downs. We bailed them out with some penalties a few times, but we've got to get better at getting off the field.
Good coverage there, and then Pierce with a big sack to force the field goal. So it's now 10-3 Bisons.
Yeah. Caden had a big day. Had a lot of family here. It was the day before his birthday, and he just decided to go ahead and play harder, I guess. I'm just kidding. Caden does a tremendous job. He's tackling with one hand right now with the cast on, and we're excited about him getting that cast off soon, hopefully. But Really proud of Caden Pierce. He's an awesome young man.
Good start to this drive. 13 from Fitzhugh, then 8 from Fitzhugh. And now Harris with Keelan with a 5-yard run right there.
There you see Chauncey.
Yeah.
You know, Chauncey's explosive. He's a different kind of back than we've had, and we just got to get him more and more involved in the game plan. But really proud of him and the progress he's made and the patience he's shown. You know, we all just want a chance. Everybody in that room wants a chance, and I get it.
Will Fitzhugh, 2-yard run right there for the touchdown. Extra point, 17-3. 4 for 4 in the red zone.
Yeah,
on Saturday.
Boy, you got to score in the red zone. You know, you need touchdowns in the red zone. That's the difference in 7 and 3. I'm not a genius, but that's 4 points. You know, getting touchdowns instead of 3 is a big deal.
Penalty flag there gives Oklahoma Baptist a first down, so they keep this drive alive.
Yeah, the penalties were frustrating, for sure.
6 penalties on the afternoon. And it felt like several of those were on third down.
Yeah, they were crucial. I mean, it felt like more than 6.
Yeah. So 17-3 Bisons, and Oklahoma Baptist putting a drive together right here late in the first half. And I thought, as they're driving here, this is the first drive that they had really put together, a sustained drive, and there's Keelan Harris once again, a really good throw from the freshman quarterback, that time Aiden Thompson.
Yeah. You know, our defensive staff and our guys, they really do expect to stone everybody. Mm-hmm. So to get scored on and give up plays that's not the standard. That's you know, I know that they were frustrated by that, but I promise you they're going to have a great week. They're going to work like crazy, and we're all going to get better.
Here's a big play after it's now a 7-point game and really stretch the field.
You know, and this was, you know, I think there was, we were under 2 minutes right here. That's our second time to go down and get late points in the half on a short clock, which is really encouraging. Great throw and catch. Really proud of Roland Wallace right there. You know, if you're a receiver here, again, it's a selfless job, and he's had a lot of maturity in handling his role. And you know, as a receiver, you're not gonna get many touches, but when you get them, you gotta make it pay. Take advantage of it.
3 plays, 63 yards, just 109 off the clock. But now Oklahoma Baptist trying to answer with a big drive right here, very late in the first half. And
there's a big break up by Ahmad, big time play. And obviously that probably took points off the board. I believe that was Nate Wallace causing that fumble, it looked like to me.
Yeah, and I thought that was a huge play. We talked about it on the broadcast as we got later in the game, that I thought that drive, I hope that didn't get forgotten about by a lot of the fans, because the late touchdown from your team, just a 3-play drive, you go down, you score, but then it looks like Oklahoma Baptist is going to come down, looks like they're going to get points again. You force a turnover because they get the ball to start the third quarter.
Yeah, you know, both of those drives were huge. The points by the offense felt like a 10-point swing. It was really a big deal, and for the defense to get a stand right there, yeah, you know, to walk in the locker room with a 2-score lead was important.
So at the half, Bisons with the advantage, 24-10 at halftime. We'll come back and we will look at the third quarter highlights and fourth quarter highlights in a moment.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
So as we pick up the highlights in the second half, Bisons with a 2-touchdown lead at halftime, and going into the third quarter, Oklahoma Baptist will get the football to begin play, and always dangerous. We talked about Harris, how dangerous it is to see him with the football in his hands, and a good high kick here by Ennis.
Yeah, we covered every kick well today or Saturday except for this one. Just had some breakdowns that can't happen.
Oklahoma Baptist with good field position, but your defense really came out and got off to a good start in the second half right here.
Yep. The D-line was strong right there, really good. There again, Cade Pugh, the tackle for loss. He's hard to block. If you're a slot receiver matchup versus Cade, that's a pretty good matchup for us.
The defense allowing Oklahoma Baptist only 4 for 14 on third down. Thought that was a big stat.
Yeah, it felt like more than that.
So Harding with the football now, 24-10 advantage. Tough field position, had good field position there in the first half. But to start this third quarter, long field.
We had 2 or 3 drops that we felt like if we catch the pitch, it was going to be an explosive big play, which is, obviously very frustrating.
They came after the punt right there, but Fox able to get the punt away.
He got a great roll. Yeah. I think he averaged 47 yards on the day. 47-yard average, and pin him within the 5 twice. That's a really good day.
There's a couple of those plays looked like the Bisons had very good coverage, but didn't quite
Yeah,
get a
I tell you,
break right there.
the way the game is played, if the receiver puts his hands on you and you both are hand fighting, then the flag's going to go against the defense almost every time. Pretty frustrating to play corner right now because the rules are so slanted towards the offense.
So again, the score 24-10 right here is Oklahoma Baptist driving.
Yeah,
midway
they
through
had,
the third.
we had 4th and 1 and just ended up getting out of our force, outside our force player, and love to have that play back.
Buddy Bazell with the touchdown run. So now the extra point failed, but it's a 1-score game now, 24-16. Return there by Henley for 20 yards. And I thought this was a very important drive for your football team.
Oh, it really was. It was a great answer, great response. Blake De La Cruz with a few big runs. Obviously, the O-line did a really good job right here. But we needed a response in a big way right here.
Yeah, you went 4 straight plays there with the B-back, 13, 14, 14, and 11 yards on these plays, and they were big.
They were big chunk plays, yeah. When we get the B-back going, it's awful hard to stop us now.
Now inside the 5-yard line, and Will Fitzhugh with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the extra point good here, so 31-16. Coach, that was an 8-play, 75-yard drive.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. It was a good day for the Fitzhughs, Will had 2 touchdowns, Grant had an interception. Crazy proud of those young men.
Here's a big play right here for Zach Strickland.
Boy, what a game changer. Proud of Zach. Zach's a transfer, came in here in January. Awesome young man, fits our mold really, really well from a character, integrity standpoint. Really proud of Zach. Big time play.
And the defensive line with some pressure right there was really in the backfield and forced that bad throw.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we go to the fourth quarter now. Bison's leading now 38-16. That pick 6 really felt like a big play going into the fourth quarter. That was very late, just 31 seconds left in the third.
One thing that we have not done very well this year as a team is cause turnovers. And so, to have some the last 2 weeks is very encouraging. We've got to live that. We've got to be a team that turns people over. That's a huge deal. 2017, we made that long run. We were not great on defense, but we did take the ball away. And when you're doing that, you're going to win ball games.
Second time that Fox has had the punt down inside the 5, where this drive started at the 2-yard line.
There's just not a lot of teams that have the pace, the patience, the discipline, the execution to go 97, 98 yards.
Scrambling, Aiden Thompson Again, he's a redshirt freshman quarterback. Had only played in one game before Saturday.
I thought he played well.
Yeah.
I thought he played well. Yeah, there were some breakdowns. Right here, we had two guys covering the back out of the backfield, and, you know, that's frustrating to see, but we'll get it fixed.
So the extra point good, now 38-23, Bison's lead. You knew the onside kick would be coming right here. You were ready.
They have worked really, really hard on that. Well, they executed it well. You know, you see Michael Cindric making the play, but, you know, Cade City, Cooper Carroll, up on that front line, those guys did a great job taking out the guys that were coming to cover that. And then we got sloppy, which is really frustrating.
Only turnover on the afternoon for the Bisons. 4 sacks on the day.
Yeah, big sack right there.
And you talked about Grant Fitzhugh with his interception earlier, and there it is. And 3 forced turnovers on the day. I know you like to see that number up there also.
No doubt about it. But I'm going to go back to Will and Grant. You know, these young men come out and both have awesome days for us. And then the next day, Will is preaching down at Stuttgart. Grant is leading the youth group at College Church. You know, you talk about, I read a comment by his mom. She just said, if, you know, 30 years ago, if I could have dreamed this weekend, there's no way I could have dreamed something like this for my boys. And so just crazy proud of all the young men. Really, really proud of those two guys for the way they do things in a way that honors God. That's what we want to be all about. So
special weekend for the Bison football program, and get a victory over the weekend as well, 38-23 over Oklahoma Baptist with the win, move up to number 11 in the latest coaches poll nationally. We'll come back and we'll hear from a couple of Bisons in a moment. We will hear from Dalton Allen and Cade Pugh coming up as we return.
On my team, I thrive to work as hard as I can. I mean, whatever you do on the field, there's a positive correlation to whatever else you do, be it personal relationships, homework, the way you carry yourself. I've changed since I got to King University. It's really helped me to develop as a leader. I think it's honestly the best thing that's ever happened.
Did you see it? Back on this week's edition of Harding Football with Paul Simmons, and we always love to hear players and their thoughts after the game. Dalton Allen and Cade Pugh. We'll hear from them right now.
Here with Dalton Allen, the Bisons pick up a big win today here at First Security Stadium. Harding rushes for right at 300 yards. Dalton as the center on this offense. It was just a day where the B-back was going to get it over and over and over. What are your thoughts when you see that a game's going to go that way and you know they're running right behind you?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. Me and the O-line talk about it. You know, every game it's on us as an offense, but especially when it comes to the B-back, we take pride in getting him going and just getting him going, moving up and down the field, going north and south. And so when we heard that, it was music to our ears. Yeah, we run 4 or 5 different guys at B-back today. Is there any difference for you guys as to who the B-back is? Any changes that you make, or it's pretty much you do your job no matter who's back there? That's exactly it. If we do our job, it doesn't matter if a Harding Academy running back's back there. We're going to get the job done for them. So yeah, whether it's first string or fifth string, it's always no matter who's back there. We got to get it going up front.
Here with Cade Pugh. Cade, this is a defense that I know that has been looking to make big plays. And tonight, or this afternoon, 8 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 2 interceptions. Is that the kind of production you're looking for from the Bison defense?
Yeah, it's always nice when you can get a lot of tackles for loss. You can get pick sixes, fumble recovers. But, man, after the game last week, we were just hungry. And we felt like we could always do more, keep doing more. And turnovers has been something we've been emphasizing all year. And we knew that if we just kept on pounding at the ball, kept on trying to get the ball out, we were going to get one. And today it finally started to come through for us. So hopefully we can keep building on that.
Oklahoma Baptist with a quarterback that hasn't played very much before this week. You probably didn't see much film. How do you adjust in a game like that to somebody that you haven't really seen much of?
Well, we actually had news on, I think it was Friday maybe, that they listed him as the starter on the depth chart. So there was just a little bit of film from the previous games this year that we got the chance to kind of go back and watch. And kind of figure out how he threw the ball, who his favorite targets were. So that kind of helped, but if we didn't have that, then we would have just kind of been blind going in.
Yeah. You know, number one's going to be one of their targets. How do you try to limit him as much as possible?
Yeah. We knew he was going to be good, but we also knew that we had the guys that we could stop him.
Yeah.
And we knew if we just played our coverage and played our assignment and played our technique, then we were going to be fine. And he had some big plays, but not enough.
Yeah. Congratulations. Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir.
Cade Pugh, 4 tackles, and you talked about the way that the defense has just chased the football, and he's a perfect example of it, and I know you're proud of him.
Oh, I'm crazy proud of Cade and Dalton both. You know, those guys they're roommates, and they actually live in a little apartment on our property there, and they've just been such a part of our lives. And you know, these guys that are seniors right now, 7 of them are 6th-year seniors, and you talk about being part of the fabric of our program and just the character, the leadership, the buy-in is unbelievable. And you know, I always say that's the worst part of this job is when you love them the most, they get ready to leave you. But you know, we have 41 days. We have 40 days. We have 40 days until we play week 11, which is just mind-blowing. That little bit of time left with these special guys, and so you know, we're all fighting like crazy. Number one, to relish every single moment, but also to do whatever it takes to extend it, to play a little bit longer together. But yeah, both those guys are exactly who we want to be about. You know, we talk about doing things in a way that honors God. I promise you that Dalton Allen and Cade Pugh, they live in a way that honors God, and well, I'm just crazy proud of them.
And it was great to hear from an offensive lineman. Dalton Allen, center for this football team, and the offensive line, they were the backbone on Saturday.
And they are every week. Mm-hmm. You know, that group just has such a high standard for how they do things. No matter who the guys are, no matter what, you know, if we get a guy hurt, we got to plug a guy in. Coach Chisholm does a tremendous job with that group. The culture in that room, the love in that room is really, really strong. And, you know, we always have high expectations for how those guys are going to play, and they come through.
Now hitting the road this weekend, Southern Nazarene, the opponent as we travel to Bethany, Oklahoma for a Saturday afternoon game, and never easy on the road, and you know you'll get Southern Nazarene's best shot on Saturday.
I'll tell you what, I really do. I think this is going to be the game of the year for those guys. This is not a typical Southern Nazarene bunch. They have been very explosive. They went down to Southeastern and beat those guys on the road, scored 45 points. Their quarterback has rushed for 638 yards and 8 touchdowns. Not on the season, in 3 ball games. Versus Southeastern, Tech, and UAM, he rushed for 638 and 8 touchdowns. They're really dangerous, and so, you know, this is they're all big for us, but this is a big week for us. Our guys know what we're going to work like crazy, and hopefully have a good trip. But we got to go to battle every week. We got to go to battle. We don't have any choice.
All right, Paul Simmons, always appreciate your time. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Billy. Go Bisons.
That's all for this week's edition of Harding Football with Paul Simmons. Again, the Bisons play on Saturday afternoon in Bethany, Oklahoma, just outside of Oklahoma City against Southern Nazarene. We'll have the 2 o'clock kick on radio on KVHU and the Harding Sports Network. We'll see you next time.